My husband lied to everyone about being the breadwinner while cheating on me. I left him broke and exposed. Let me preface this by saying, they're not flashy. I don't post about my life online, I don't wear labels, and I don't talk about money. Not because I'm modest, but because I don't need validation. But I'm going to talk about money now, because my cheating husband made it his entire personality, even though none of it was ever his to begin with. I built my wealth from scratch. I started a consulting firm in my late 20s. For years, I barely scraped by, working out of coffee shops and taking calls from my bathroom in a shared apartment. By 34, I had landed enough Fortune 500 clients to go global. Today, my net worth is in the low 8 figures. I own 2 homes, a beach condo, and have enough in investments to retire 10 times over. Quiet wealth. No one outside my tight circle really knows. Then came Daniel. I'm 40. We met at a wedding. He was charming, charismatic, a great conversationalist. He worked in finance, though it always sounded vague. High-level stuff, he'd say. He seemed grounded. Said he respected how I didn't need attention. He loved that I didn't flaunt what I had. I thought I had finally found someone who didn't care about my bank account, just me. Spoiler. I was very, very wrong. We dated for about a year. I paid for most things, quietly. He made a decent salary, or so I thought. But I didn't mind covering dinners, trips, even our first house together. It was in my name, but I let him decorate it, play the man of the house role. I thought it made him feel empowered. We got married. No prenup, because I was in love and like a fool trusted him. Big mistake. Daniel didn't just ride my coattails. He built an entire persona around being the successful businessman. He'd take photos in my car, host parties at my house, post motivational quotes about grind culture and building an empire, while I was the one on late-night Zoom calls closing international deals. Worse, he told his family and friends I worked part-time as a remote assistant, that he paid the bills, that he bought me everything I owned. He even convinced my family that I'd scaled back work to support his ambitions. I didn't care at first. I thought, let him have his pride. But then I found the texts. Daniel was cheating, of course, with a 25-year-old influencer who, based on her DMs, thought he was a tech executive who'd be leaving his assistant wife soon. They mocked me. In screenshots, she called me frumpy and just some housewife. He told her he was only with me because the house is in her name for tax reasons. I read everything. I felt sick, but I didn't react. I played dumb for 2 full months while I got every single legal duck in a row. The setup. I contacted my lawyer and put all our shared assets under review. Quietly moved the bulk of my liquid wealth into separate protected accounts under my trust. Changed beneficiaries on every policy and will. Hired a forensic accountant who discovered Daniel had secretly opened a line of credit under my name. He'd used it to buy gifts for his mistress and fund their little weekend getaways. Froze his access to everything, credit cards, joint accounts, the house, all of it. He didn't notice because he assumed I was too busy with yoga and brunches to pay attention to money. Arrogant and stupid. Once everything was airtight, I made one final move. I invited both our families over for a celebration dinner. The fallout. Daniel walked into the house and saw both sets of parents, siblings, and a few mutual friends gathered. He looked confused. Then I stood up and said calmly, "Tonight's a celebration, all right, of your last night here." I played a slideshow of the messages between him and the influencer, the hotel receipts, the screenshots, the photos, the $17,000 he spent on her using my name. His mother gasped. His father walked out. I handed him divorce papers. His jaw dropped. You can't be serious. Oh, I'm very serious. Also, you're broke. You've got 72 hours to vacate. He didn't believe me until he tried using the card to get an Uber and it declined. The aftermath. Daniel tried fighting the divorce. His lawyer quit after a week when I produced every financial record and legal document showing his fraud, adultery, and breach of trust. He demanded his share of the house. The judge laughed. It was purchased in full with my money, and I had the receipts to prove it. He begged me to handle this privately to save his image. I leaked just enough proof to mutual friends that his reputation was destroyed. The influencer dumped him within 48 hours of learning the truth. He now lives with his brother in a basement apartment and works as a financial analyst at a mid-tier firm. I bought a lakeside cabin with a hot tub and haven't heard his voice in over a year. The best part? About 6 months ago, I got a long email. I made mistakes. I was insecure. I felt emasculated by your success, but I never stopped loving you. I didn't respond. Instead, I printed the email and used it to line my fireplace. Then I poured a glass of wine and watched it burn.